Hey, Buff Nation, voice of the boss, Mark Johnson here. Coming up this week in the Buffalo Stampede, we're talking a lot of women's basketball. CU ranked number 3 in the country. They get a sweep over Arizona and Arizona State. We'll recap those ball games, catching up with voice of the CU women's program, Corey Lopez. The CU men drop a tough game at Arizona State. We'll recap with my broadcast partner and former Buff, Scott Wilkie, and give you a behind-the-scenes look of a Buff women's basketball victory over Utah at home. All this week on the Buffalo Stampede.
Over to Miller in the corner for a three. Yes, sir. That quiets the crowd a little bit. We're tied at 41. Foreman in the right side wing. Lob underneath. There's Nettie. She goes up hard. Lays it up and in. And the Buffs have the lead back 6.
Well, another comeback win for the Colorado women's basketball team. They continue to roll. The 5th-rated team in the country gets a 1-point win on the road down in Tucson, Arizona. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Buffalo Stampede. Voice of the boss, Mark Johnson. Boy, J.R. Payne and company right now on fire. Voice of the women's basketball program, Corey Lopez. Kind of fun having the men and women down here in Arizona at the same time. That was a heck of a win yesterday.
You know what? I'm still catching my breath. I think Buffs Nation catching their breath as well. It's the first time they'd won since 2015 down here, and it is a tough place to play, as you well know. But they had the light sticks going. They had 7,300 people out there. Colorado didn't play that great, but they played well enough to get it done and win for the first time. They broke a 5-game losing streak down here. It's hard to win down in Tucson, and it's hard to win down here in Tempe, too.
You know, Corey, you were with this team last year during that run to the Sweet 16. We knew this was a talented basketball team, and a lot of players coming back. You thought it was going to be pretty good. Did you expect this level of play? I mean, right now, let's be honest, this is a legitimate Final Four caliber team.
Yeah, it really is. It's the extra year of experience, and you get the addition of Maddie Nolan from Michigan. You get the addition of Sarah Rose Smith coming in from Missouri. They have been key components here to what's already a pretty veteran club. So I can't say I expected to think, ooh, this is going to be a Final Four team. But all the expectations got thrown out the window when they beat LSU to open up the season. That's essentially how that worked out, because then you went, oh, wow, they really are that good, and the team is now really believing they are that good.
So what went down yesterday? I mean, Arizona jumped out early, down double digits, but the fourth quarter, Colorado shot almost 70% in that final frame.
You know what? Arizona only had 7 players available to them, but they were 7 very talented players. Adia Barnes does a great job there. You know, they're only about 3 years removed from being in the national title game anyway, so she recruits very well. There were a couple of really fantastic freshmen there. So they played very well. Colorado did some really uncharacteristic things, turning the ball over. They turned it over 20 times yesterday, and they really just don't do that. What happened, though, toward the end was the same thing that happened in the Utah game, and that was Colorado decided, okay, enough of this. Let's get back to playing some Buffs basketball. Let's be smart and get the ball in the hands of Jalen Sherrod. Second straight game that she's played fantastic. And even when you had players that weren't scoring, like Frida Foreman, she ended up with 5 assists. You know, so when players aren't scoring, they're doing the little things. Sarah Rose Smith ended up with 9 rebounds. She had 4 points, you know. So it's not just Jalen going out and scoring 34 like she did against Utah or scoring 18 like she did against Arizona. It's everybody else contributing as well. So it's been a overall, and I know this is cliche, it's a team effort. It really is. And it doesn't matter who is scoring the most. They find somebody who's hot and they make sure they get her the ball.
You set me up beautifully. I was going to bring up Jalen Sherrod. Really at Colorado right now, we're fortunate. We're watching 2 of the best point guards in America. KJ Simpson, of course, on the men's side. Jalen comes back for another year and has elevated her game. Where has she evolved? How has she gotten better? How does this make the team better?
She realizes now that she is the emotional leader, and I think that's really important for her, because she knew that she could spark the club, but she didn't realize when she wasn't playing well, if she dipped that chin down a little bit, kind of hung her head a little bit, that affected the team. She doesn't do that this year. She understands that she really is the emotional leader, and that's a big deal for a team to have somebody that understands that. She picks other people up, and it's not her being selfish, because believe me, when she won the AP Player of the Week award and the Pac-12 Player of the Week award, she's a shy person. And so even her teammates in the locker room were joking. They were saying, all right, what other award are we making up to give to her this week, you know, because she played so well. And they like to be able to kind of put it on to her, because they understand she's a shy person, but she is a spark on this team. And now she understands she's got to keep her chin up the entire time, and that's what a leader does.
If you're going to play at the level the Buffs are right now and be a Final Four caliber team, you got to be good defensively. When I've watched this women's program, that's what really strikes me.
You know what? They play good defense, and they played good defense last year. Now they've got the offense to go along with it. So you're right. I agree with you. It's the defense, and J.R. Payne and T will say defense, defense, defense. But they went out and they put up 70-plus points against an Arizona club yesterday. In Pac-12 play, that didn't always happen for Colorado. They struggled at times with that. So now they can lock down on defense like they did when they needed to at the end of the game. They can also put up some points, and that's a big deal.
Lastly here, last couple of seconds. Also, when I watch this team on the interior, we like to talk about Frida Foreman, Jalen Sherrod, what's going on in the perimeter. What's going on down inside with Quay and everybody, and Aaronette, it's been pretty impressive.
Aaronette Vonleh is finally starting to get that confidence to understand she's a pretty good player. They've been telling her that for a while since she transferred in last year. She's really starting to believe it, and a lot of that has come from Quay Miller helping her out, making her believe. And again, Quay has been up and down at times, but again, she's another one of those emotional leaders too. So she understands. She keeps her chin up too. Aaronette keeps her chin up. Everybody just has a positive attitude, and they know eventually they're going to turn it on and get it done.
Buff women going for the sweep down here in Arizona. They've got Arizona State coming up next. After a quick timeout, we're talking men's basketball as the Buffs will take on the Sun Devils as well. Corey Lopez, women's basketball voice, joining us here in the Buffalo Stampede. Back in a moment. Down by 5, dribbling out top. Drives against Miller. Down the lane on his way to the hoop with the left hand. Is up off the window. It's up and good. And that's 1,000 career points for K.J. Simpson, the 40th Buffalo all-time. K.J. Simpson becomes the 40th Buffalo all-time to break the 1,000-point barrier. That bucket right there against Arizona State down here in Tempe. Second buff this season. Tristan DeSilva did it earlier this year, but the Buffaloes fall to Arizona State and get swept to the road trip here down in the desert. Hi, everybody. Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, back at the Stampede. Scott Wilkie, former Buff, my broadcast partner. That was kind of a tough one tonight for the Buffs.
Tough one to lose like that. They had chances. They led early in the game, but the second 10 minutes of the first half was really what doomed them tonight.
Yeah, the turnover bug, we've talked about that so much this season. 10 turnovers in the first half, and 12 or 14 points off turnovers. That right there kind of set the tone for the entire game, didn't it?
Yeah, ASU really converted on those turnovers, fast break points, open shots that led to three-pointers, things like that. And so Colorado turned it over. Live ball turnovers led to fast breaks for ASU.
This is the second game of the swing. Of course, the Buffaloes had that horrible game on Thursday night to Arizona. I liked at least the way they responded tonight in this ball game against ASU.
Yeah, they played a lot better in a lot of ways than they did Thursday night. The defense was better, especially in the second half. They moved the ball better. I thought they played together more. It was improvement, and I was impressed with ASU, Mark. I thought they were good tonight.
The thing about it is the turnover bug for Colorado. We knew going into this ball game the way ASU plays. They're a frenetic defense. They're chopping and poking at the basketball all the time.
Yeah, no one rakes and chops down at the basketball more than ASU. They take chances. They gamble, and they're okay if they get beat backdoor or those other things because they get enough turnovers and get enough fast breaks out of it to take those chances.
You well know this. We saw the highlight there a moment ago. KJ becoming a 1,000-point scorer. That's not a small thing at the college level.
Yeah, I respect any guy that gets to 1,000 points in college, and it means that you've been there for a few years, first of all, and it also means that you're consistent in scoring. And KJ's been really good this year, much more efficient than last year. He was good again tonight.
Yeah. You can see his game maturing for the Buffaloes. He breaks the 1,000-point barrier in his career, but the Buffs fall to Arizona State. And afterward, we heard from head coach Tad Boyle. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Celebrate responsibly.
We lost that game in the first half. Our guys battled. They battled their tails off in that second half. They really did. And but you turn the ball over 10 times, and they scored 20 points off our turnovers in the first half, and we're down 6. Like we could have been down 15 or 18 if it wasn't for if it wasn't for that. We just have to be smarter with the basketball. We've had 3 turnovers on this trip alone by catching the ball and we're out of bounds. Like those are the turnovers you got to get rid of. Right. And I know it's not a live ball turnover, but when you're playing Arizona State, the scouting report is they reach, they rake, you got to be ready to handle it. And man, we had a couple turnovers that obviously led to layups and three-point shots. We did a great job guarding the three-point line in the second half. They only got 2, but they had 6 at halftime. So again, if we hit our numbers, we're good. But we didn't hit our numbers tonight in either of those categories.
Lane is right to the hoop with the left hand. Is up off the window. It's up and good. And that's 1,000 career points for K.J. Simpson, the 40th Buffalo. Head coach Tad Boyle, after the Buffaloes fall, gets swept here in the against the Arizona schools. They lose in Tempe to Arizona State. We continue with Scott Wilkie. It was good to get Tristan back in this ballgame. What do you think of his performance?
Yeah, he played well. I thought it took him a few minutes to kind of get his legs underneath him, but he played very well in the second half, shot the ball well. And, Tristan has a lot of little things that you miss when he's not there, not just the scoring, but passing, ball handling, and good defense.
Yeah, and nobody can make a difficult play look more easy, simple, fluid than Tristan Da Silva.
Yeah, once or twice a game, he does things that we kind of look at each other and go, wow, that's impressive, because for a 6'8", 6'9" guy, he's so smooth, athletic, and he made a nice left-handed finish tonight. Made it look easy, but we know that was not an easy play.
The Buffaloes, the injury bug's been a terrible issue for Colorado. You're down Cody Williams. Tristan finally comes back. R.J. Smith out for the year. They play without Julian Hammond. And we've bragged about Julian, the way he's been playing. We missed a toughness out there, and certainly a three-point shooter without having number 3 out there.
Yeah, he's shot the ball well this year. He's averaging 10 points a game. Once or twice a game, he'll make a play that only guards kind of make. And we're thin at the guard right now. KJ had to play 40 minutes tonight. So we're going to miss him when he's out.
Yeah. How about Big Eddie in a ball game like this? You didn't have the earth mover out there he was playing against. You had Gaffney and Phillips, more long, lean kind of players, in the way that Eddie played against those guys.
Tough matchup for him because those guys shoot threes as well. That means he's out 22 feet away from the basket. I think he did okay. He guarded those guys pretty well. But, it's hard to finish over that length and athleticism that ASU has.
Yeah, by the way, ASU had 11 steals and 8 block shots in this ball game. Now that game coming up on Wednesday becomes all that more important. The Buffaloes are going to stay on the road. They'll leave here, Arizona, on Monday, travel to California. A Wednesday night game against, not a great but a solid Cal team. That becomes a huge game.
A Cal team that's struggling this year. I think they're 4-11, something like that. But at home, they're going to be decent. They almost had ASU last week, so it's not going to be an easy win. It's always tough to win on the road, but you got to beat a team that might end up in the bottom if you want to finish in the top.
Well, disappointing road swing here in Arizona as the Buffs get swept, lose a close one. Nearly were able to sneak it out late at Desert Financial Arena, but fall to the Sun Devils. That's my partner, Scott Wilkie. I'm voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. We'll come back at the other side to see you women down here as well. We're going to talk about their game with ASU.
Up top, Weather with the basketball underneath Nettie there. Double teams coming. She turns, he's fouled, and count the bucket. An and one opportunity now. Sarah Rose Smith steps in front of the pass. The race is on with Miller. Left hand layup up and good. And now 40-20. Buffs up by 20. Catches, fires at 3, left side. Yeah, there you go. 3-0.
Well, the CU women continue to roll. They get a sweep in the desert on Sunday, knocking off Arizona State 81-68. Back in the Stampede, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Aaronette Vonleh had a big game for the Buffaloes, 20 points and 10 rebounds as the Buffs win their 7th in a row. A big second quarter separated the Buffaloes in this one as the Buffs outscored the Sun Devils 25-7 in that second frame. Colorado shot 50% from the field and three-point range while holding Arizona State to just 8%. Yes, 8% from the field in that second quarter. Vonleh scored 14 of her 20 points in the first quarter to really get the Buffs rolling. She was 10 of 15 for the field in the game. Maddie Nolan had 9 second quarter points after cashing in on 3 three-pointers. Vonleh and Nolan helped Colorado reach 50 points in the half for the 7th time this season. The huge first half for CU allowed the Buffaloes to accumulate a total of 76 combined bench minutes between 7 players on the afternoon. Charlotte Whitaker, Sarah Rose Smith, and Kendall Wetta combined for 17 points off the bench, with Whitaker leading the group with 7. The Sun Devils did pose a comeback threat late in the fourth quarter as a result of CU turnovers, but the Buffs managed to pick it up and hang on for the victory. After the game, we heard from head coach J.R. Payne.
In spurts, I thought we played really, really well. In spurts, I thought we played really, really poorly. So definitely need to be able to create some more consistency, especially when we sub and there's different lineups. Can't be such a big drop. It was a tough game, and especially, it's one thing to be getting to the free throw line and you're making your free throws. Well, then that's fine. Sometimes that's part of the game plan is if you're not, shooting really well, get yourself to the free throw line, but we got to be able to make free throws as well. So then it just becomes empty possessions, and the clock keeps stopping. stopping, and then we come down and foul, and they shoot free. It just wasn't a great second half. Yeah, I think most of the players on our team know where their shots are going to come from, or the type of opportunities that will present themselves within the framework of the offense. And that's where I think someone like Maddie, can thrive, because she knows what type of look she's going to get, and she's confident. So it was great to see her hit a couple Friday night, hit a couple today.
That's head coach J.R. Payne after the Buffs' victory over the Sun Devils, so the Buffs get the sweep down in the desert. And by the way, coming off those two victories, move up to number 3 in this week's top 25 college women's basketball poll. We're going to continue talking women's basketball here in the Stampede. We're going to give you a behind-the-scenes look in the Buffs' Pac-12 opening victory over Utah. Back in the Stampede, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson here. We continue talking CU women's basketball. What a year so far for J.R. Payne and company. Ranked number 3 in the country, riding a 7-game winning streak, 3-0 in Pac-12 conference play. Week and a half ago, the Buffs opened up Pac-12 play against top 15 Utah at the Event Center. It was a nip-and-tuck game from start to finish. And CU's own Will Insel gives us a behind-the-scenes look of the Buffs' victory over the Utes. Powered by Ford. Cars, trucks, and SUVs built for America. Built Ford proud.
Welcome to the CU Event Center in Boulder. Number 8, Colorado. Number 12, Utah. Ready to get rolling here. And we expect a giant crowd here at the CU Event Center. It's the first opening game of the Pac-12 tournament. The last time we'll have a season opener for the Pac-12 involving Colorado and Utah.
They are 21 and 21. They played each other 42 times. They are in the Pac-12. Colorado has the lead of 14 to 11 in games 1. But over the last 10 games, they're 5 and 5.
Last thing I had is the toughest, hardest working, most disciplined team wins. Okay, that's it. I mean, 2 really good teams. They've got inside play, they got outside play. We got inside play, we got outside play. They have veterans, we have veterans, both well coached, organized, okay? The toughest, hardest working, most disciplined team wins this ballgame. Okay? Any questions about what that looks like or what that feels like? Okay, what it feels like after the opening tip is as soon as we get an offensive possession, we're playing hard with pace. Everything we've talked about is aggressive. Even the catch, face up, aggressive posture. Dig in and post up. We got to throw it back out, dig back in and get another post up. Okay, defensively, we cannot have anybody that's baloney. Okay, nice stance, but it's not doing anything for us. Okay, pressure the basketball, active hands. You need to switch something that's fine, just call it and do it aggressively. Okay, and then rebound and rebound. You guys ready? Yes. All right, let's go get them, let's go.
Start about personnel, anything. Okay, guard the 3-point line in transition, doesn't matter the matchup, okay? Be aggressive in every single aspect of the game. Be the most aggressive kid on the floor. All right, we're starting it, so let's have fun, let's kick, let's go. Buzz.
All right, here we go. Ready to tip this one up. Buffs to the left, the right in front of us. We're in their home whites, black numerous outline in goal, and Vonleh will win the tip. Netty's got it. Nettie from 17. Oh, she dropped it through. Johnson drives in, stopped there, double team, triple team. Jay took the ball away, and she's on the run. Leading everybody down the right side, laying up and in. Forward underneath quickly to Vonleh, who lays it up and in. Ups here, bouncing underneath, there's Jay. Down and counts the bucket. Tam stepped in front of that long pass, intended for Vieta. Sadler will bring it up. One hand pass to Smith. Smith in the lane, goes for the scoop with the left hand and scores. Looking underneath, Weather's going to drive all the way under. Gives to Whitaker down the lane, lays it up and in. Sherrod working on Vieta, fade away from 10, got it.
That's classic Sherrod, that mid-range jumper.
Wants to spin in, and the beautiful left-hand shot. Crowd comes to their feet here as we head to halftime. Tied at 33, number 8 Colorado, number 12 Utah.
All right, y'all, let's go. 20 minutes, let's go.
Alicia Peely, 17 points. Jalen Sherrod, 15 points. It has been a defensive battle, though, really on both sides. Catch inside by Nettie to open things up. She got out here. Jay with a steal. Racing coast to coast down the left side. She'll go for the layup and up and in. Foreman down the left side. She stops. She'll fire at 3. Yeah!
Keep up the intensity, the ball pressure, you guys, okay? Fight through screens, no looks, okay, from 3. Ball pressure everywhere, be disruptive, okay?
And Sarah Rose Smith steps in front of it. Down the left side with the layup up and in. Buffs have the lead back, 49-47. Jay drives inside, layup up and in. Got by Young and Peter to the hole. It's a double-digit lead by the Buffs. Weta kicks to the corner. Smith for a 3. Yeah! Weta down low. Vaughn laying an 8. Layup up and in. Went right back to her.
It's a 22-6 run by Colorado.
Wow. And to Jay. Jay's on the run. Inside on Young. Scoop and score. And count the bucket. And an and one coming for Colorado. Smith will bounce it to Jay with 29 seconds left. Colorado can almost dribble this one out. The crowd coming to their feet. All 7,383 people here, and that'll do it. Number 8, Colorado keeps rolling on. They just beat 12th ranked Utah. The final 76-65. Very big game. 18 points for Vonleh down low, working against Alyssa Peely. Sarah Rose Smith, a double-double, 11 points, 12 rebounds. Career night for Jalen Sherrod, 34 points.
Buffaloes, go see you! Great win, you guys. Great work. Here we go. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family!
A great behind-the-scenes look at the Buffs victory over the Utes a week and a half ago at the Event Center. Colorado now number 3 in the country, 3-0 in Pac-12 conference play. Next up, by the way, the Buffs finally back home at the Event Center Friday night, 7 o'clock. They'll take on the Cal Golden Bears. That'll wrap up this week's Buffalo Stampede. I'm Voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you next time.